Having to appear in court can be a very daunting experience, and the uncertainty of the impending verdict can be more overwhelming than anything else. At the onset, individuals often face the compounded stress of a judicial system that, by and large, appears predisposed to rule in favor of the plaintiff in almost every case. As you are about to discover, this framing bias leads to a situation where critical evidence is overlooked, making the quest for justice seem opaque and arbitrary. Interestingly, the inefficiencies and inadequacies of modern-day courts do not end there. Most attorneys, who ideally should act in a fiduciary capacity for their clients, often fail in this fundamental duty. Instead, they align with opposing counsel and judges, particularly against defendants, creating a parallel system of injustice that is both ineffective and indiscriminate. This indiscriminate and callous approach to justice is not only degrading but also destructive to the very fabric of legal integrity. It is therefore necessary for those involved in judicial proceedings to make themselves familiar with the laws and principles that are in place to guide best practices in our courts. There must be a clear understanding of ethical principles, civil laws, and criminal laws. With the advent of various search engines, most of these laws and principles are searchable, even though the process can be somewhat tedious. This depends primarily on one's proficiency with using the internet, the type of case, and the amount of legal knowledge that the individual possesses. Resolutely, this narrative does not advocate for individuals to self-represent simply by researching laws and principles on the internet. Rather, it highlights the indispensable need for litigants to become more knowledgeable and understanding of their rights, especially considering the growing corruption and fraudulent practices that have seemingly become commonplace in our courts. This call for vigilance is particularly crucial when attorneys and judges, who are supposed to uphold the law, engage in apparently arbitrary and corrupt practices. The legal landscape is often fraught with complex and delicate issues. Historically, unchecked misconduct and unprofessionalism among legal practitioners have led to a mockery of justice and disdain for defendants. This platform is committed to actively educating and encouraging you to interact with the legal system knowledgeably, recognizing the dramatic effort needed to safeguard your rights against such failings. Thankfully, the resources to gain this critical knowledge are widely accessible. Identifying when your rights are being violated, whether due to inefficient case management or the apathetic, arbitrary behavior of legal professionals, is an essential skill that can strengthen you in your legal endeavors. In facing these obstacles, remember that the pursuit of justice is not just about the verdict, but also about ensuring a fair, transparent process free from the corrupt and inept practices that erode our legal system. Stay committed in your pursuit of knowledge, vigilant in recognizing your rights, and prepared to address any judicial misconduct. Awareness and understanding are powerful tools in a flawed yet essential system for achieving justice. The best defense against judicial corruption is arming ourselves with knowledge equal to that of those who violate the civil and constitutional rights they vowed to protect. You will discover that knowing and applying judicial canons and attorneys' ethical practices is crucial in this fight. Judicial canons outline the expected conduct of judges with attorneys, case parties, disqualification scenarios, responses to courtroom misconduct, and actions when attorneys or judges contravene the law. These canons are fundamental in maintaining judicial integrity. Attorneys adhere to the professional conduct rules set by each state's legal bar association. These regulations address key areas such as attorney-client interactions, acceptable fee structures, fairness to opposing parties, truthfulness towards tribunals, and handling complaints lodged with the bar association. Understanding these principles and codes of conduct allows individuals whose rights have been violated to file comprehensive complaints that are harder to overlook or dismiss, particularly when such grievances become consistent across the nation. Incorporating related cases or similar infractions by attorneys or judges from other states into a complaint can be very effective. This method greatly strengthens the case against judicial misconduct. Importantly, knowledge of various federal and state laws is essential for effective self-representation, including civil rights, color of law, court fraud, state statutes, rules Rule 60, and the rules of judicial administration. It's crucial to recognize that while there are statutes of limitations for filing claims in court, there are no such limitations for claims against attorneys or judges involved in court fraud, due to the gravity of the offense. The importance of this knowledge might initially be overlooked, but its pivotal role in fighting judicial corruption becomes clear in hindsight. Judicial misconduct is not just ineffective and inefficient, it is criminal, corrupt, and severely damages the integrity of our justice system. Judges and attorneys engaged in such behavior are committing fraudulent, abusive, and demeaning acts that threaten the foundational values of our legal system. The concealed nature of these offenses, coupled with a willful and indifferent breach of legal norms, makes them especially pernicious. If left unchecked, they foster an environment where justice is dispensed indiscriminately and arbitrarily, which is both undignified and demeaning to the victims. Understanding these mechanisms and adopting a dynamic approach to reporting and combating judicial misconduct can be transformative. This channel disseminates knowledge that provides practical, actionable information to help individuals protect themselves against corruption. Our goal is to ensure that no one is left vulnerable to judicial mishaps, and that the principles of justice and fairness are dynamically and steadfastly maintained. By appropriately framing bias and leveraging fundamental legal principles, we can confront these issues with the necessary candor and determination to bring about change. The fight against judicial corruption is delicate but crucial, and with the right knowledge and tools, we can expose and eradicate these criminal elements from our justice system. This channel is dedicated to providing essential information to combat corruption, ensuring that justice is served, and the integrity of our legal system remains intact. Therefore, we invite you to share your personal experiences in the comments section.